Hello, and welcome to Level Die Neo and the first episode of the Level Die Neo tutorial series. This is a set of videos that I'm going to create over the coming weeks to try and actually teach you something about video games. The first few videos we're going to do is going to be covering a certain genre of games so that you can get a certain amount of information so that if you are maybe new to gaming or are trying to get into gaming, I can give you a description of what a genre of game is like, maybe give you an idea of what to expect, some of the top ones out there, and get you into gaming. One of the biggest criticisms I get from Level Die is that people have no fucking idea what I'm talking about most of the time, so I decided that I would actually try and do a series of educational content videos, and that is going to be the tutorial series. Everything else is going to be the normal just bullshitting about games thing, but this tutorial series, this is going to be actual educational content, so I'm very excited. So the first set, like I said, is going to be covering genres, and this week we're going to be covering RPGs. Now, what does RPG stand for? It stands for role-playing game, and we're going to break that down. So role-playing, I mean, obviously game means game, so we can move past that word. Role-playing. Role-playing is picking a style of play, I guess I would say. So imagine you're playing a role-playing game, and you want to be a knight in shining armor. You can do that, depending on the game. Or if you want to be like an evil mage or something. Role-playing games are the games that you would play if you want to create a character, become that character, and go on an adventure and level up and really feel immersed in a game because you can be who you want to be. I would say one of the first and major role-playing games is Dungeons & Dragons. And if you've ever seen Stranger Things, Dungeons & Dragons is the game that they are playing on the first episode and last episode of the first season. It is, in my opinion, it's the best role-playing game ever made, and it might be the best game ever made, but we're not just going to talk about D&D. We're going to talk about role-playing games. I'm going to try and give you an idea about what to expect when you boot up a role-playing game for the first time. So I would say one of the key pillars of what makes a role-playing game is character customization. So you typically, and we're talking about Western RPGs today, we can talk about Japanese RPGs another day, but we're going to cover Western-style role-playing games in this episode. One of the big things with Western role-playing games is character creation. So some of the big titles that let you do this, I would say the Elder Scrolls series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guarantee if you've been anywhere near someone who plays games or you play games yourself, you have heard of Skyrim. Skyrim is still one of the most popular games of all time. I mean, there's like 8 different versions. It's on every console that's ever existed. I'm surprised it isn't on. They didn't make like backwards compatible for Xbox or like Xbox, the original and PS2. I'm honestly surprised. So you've heard of Skyrim. You've probably heard of Fallout, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. You have probably heard of Mass Effect. We actually talked about it last week. That's also a role-playing game. Those are, I would say, the major ones right now. Skyrim being, number one. Skyrim is the biggest role-playing game out right now. And depends on kind of the aesthetic you want. If you want post-apocalyptic, you would play the Fallout games. And if you want sort of Tolkien-esque adventure games with magic and elves and shit, you would play the Elder Scrolls series. So, to each their own. Now, at the beginning of these games, and we're referring to Skyrim and Fallout, you get to create a character, and you can make them look any way that you want them to look. So you can make them look exactly like you. I mean, as close as you can get. Obviously, there are limitations. You can't just take a picture of your face and upload it onto the hero's head. But you can make them look kind of like you if you're one of the people that likes to self-insert, which is sort of create a character that looks like you so that you can get more immersed. And immersion, I think, you know, if you know the definition of the word, it's just being into something. But with video games, it's really special, honestly. I mean, this is the only media in the world where you truly get to be in control of all the decisions that get made. And role-playing games are very, very big for that. Especially since you can create the way that the character looks. So if you want the character to look exactly like you can try your damnedest, and you might be able to make it happen. And that lets you get thrust into this world. And I dig it. I'm an immersive guy. I like to, you know, if I'm playing Skyrim or Fallout, I like to download like immersion mods, you know, to sort of up the ante and make me feel more into it, because I am someone who can just get lost for hours playing games like this, just walking around doing quests. So one of the other key components, we've talked about character customization. Let's talk about leveling up. Leveling up is a system in a lot of games now, not just role-playing games, but it originated in role-playing games. Leveling up is you start at level 1, in quotes, and as you do things in the world, you gain experience. Think of it as your character growing. They're growing as they fight monsters or as they complete quests. And quests are tasks you would do for non-playable characters or NPCs, so basically all the little people you see running around in a video game. You would do missions for them, tasks, favors, and as you do those things, you gain experience. Maybe someone, here's a great example. Very early on in Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, you get a quest from the Warriors Guild. If you decide to join the Warriors Guild, I always went back and forth. To be honest with you, I've never beaten Morrowind because I just get so lost in being a character that I just have never beaten it. I like, you know, going through the guilds, and there's actually a guild where you can become a lay servant, which is just like basically you do bitch work, but it's really, really relaxing. And back in the day, I used to get high as fuck and play my lay servant character and just like pick flowers for hours. It was fucking awesome. But very early on in Morrowind, if you join the Warriors Guild, you get a quest to kill a bunch of rats in some lady's attic. And you go up there and there's like, I don't know, 5 rats, and you just smash the shit out of them with your swords that you probably stole from Cédonine. And you kill these rats. And me personally, since no one's around, I like to dig through these people's shit because nobody can see me and like complain to the guards or anything. So I go through her shit, and she's just got like hundreds of pillows. Every single barrel and crate inside that fucking attic is just full of pillows. Just, I don't know. I always thought that was a very funny quest, just because the only items she has is pillows. Her name is, oh my God, I wonder if I can pronounce this. Drarain Thalis. And she's in Balmora. Balmora is probably my favorite city in Morrowind. Fucking great city. Aldarune is shit. Anybody who likes Aldarune more than Balmora is trash. You're trash. So, leveling up. You do these missions. So I would do this mission for Drarainus Thalia, whatever the fuck. I put my phone away. And you would get XP. And XP stands for experience points. And experience, like I said, is sort of, if you want to think about it in like a real world way, it is your character growing. Like physically, like not like getting taller, but like, oh fuck, I keep locking my phone. Son of a bitch. But as a person, like from their experiences in the world, from the things that they've done, they grow. And I've always loved, it's really nice when you play a game and you do something and you immediately see an effect. So you do a mission and then like a little bar fills up. It's nice. I mean, it makes you want to do more. Like the more quests I do, the more this bar fills up, and I'm super stoked about it. So as you level up, as you gain experience, you'll reach a threshold, say 100 points. You reach your first 100 points, and then you hit level 2. So when you hit level 2, typically you get to go into this sort of menu that lets you increase your stats. Now, what are stats? Stats in most games are the things that determine how strong, how fast, and how smart you are. How well you can swing a sword, or how well you can shoot a magic missile out of your hand, or how well you can even just speak to someone. Maybe if you're playing a more social game, and I guess that applies to Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe even Morrowind. I mean, if you want to be like a trader, you can run around and just buy low and sell high, recettear style. But your stats determine who you are going to be. And as you level up, you get to spec, which means like put points into a certain style of play. You get to spec into what you want to be. I want to be a warrior, so I would spec into long swords, heavy armor, and like heavy weapons, something like that, right? So I can switch up between some long swords, some maces, and I can wear like steel armor, you know, maybe put some points into endurance or whatever controls your HP, and HP stands for health points. So that is, if your health points run out, like hit 0, you typically die or you get into a state that makes you reset to a previous save point. So maybe spec into some HP so that you can tank, which means take a lot of damage. So if you are tankier, think about like a tank. I mean, you can shoot it all day and it'll never go away, right? Shoot it all day, never go away. Level die. Tanky means to be able to take a lot of hits. So if I was playing a warrior, I would want to be tanky. I would want to have a lot of HP, and I would want to be able to deal a lot of damage. And I want to be proficient, which is good at certain weapon skills. Now, say I was playing a mage. I would want to do the complete opposite. I'd want to be hyper intelligent. I'd want to put all of my points into intelligence. And if we're talking Morrowind right now, which I'm telling you right now, if this can just be a podcast about Morrowind, which it kind of already is, intelligence, and I mean, just Morrowind is one of the best fucking role-playing games ever. Just straight up, if you've never played it, go play it. It's dynamite. So if you're playing a mage, you would put points into intelligence. Maybe if you want to craft, which is just create things out of other things that you might pick up in the game. If you want to craft like potions, which are Sekiro is ready to play, baby. Yeah, baby. Just bought Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And once this podcast is over, I'm going to fucking play it. Woo! If you're playing a mage and you want to be an alchemist, which is someone who, I guess if, it depends on what your idea of an alchemist is. If you're a Full Metal Brotherhood fan like me, it's like doing spells and shit. But the alchemy in the Elder Scrolls games is more of like take plants, turn plants into potions. Potions are little drinks in vials that you can glug down, and they give you certain effects. So if you mix like a certain set of plants together, they might refill your health pool, your health bar, your HP, and make you, survive a fight. Intelligence directly affects, how strong your spells are or how likely they are to hit enemies. So you would want to spec a different way, which gives you different options of play when you start a new game, which is something that I always do. It's one of the reasons I've never beaten Morrowind, is I'm always just starting a new game. Because one of the most important things, aside from character customization and leveling up in Western role-playing games, or RPGs, is player choice. So when you step off the boat in we're just going to use Morrowind as an example for the rest of this, and maybe some Fable later, because I got some shit that we're going to fucking talk about down here that requires a different game. So when you step off the boat in Morrowind and on Morrowind, you are given the option right away to pick the race that you play, and then you pick the class that you play, and then you go out into the world, and you can just immediately try and kill the entire town if you want to. Or you can break into someone's house and steal some stuff, and then maybe someone catches you, and the guards come, and you get arrested, and you go to jail. I know. It sounds like a lot. It sounds like real fucking life, doesn't it? Well, that is what role-playing games give you. They give you the opportunity to step into the shoes of a person in a world that is, to be honest, a little bit more exciting than ours. The modern day, our lives can get boring. And that is one of the appeals, in my opinion, to role-playing games, is I can create a character, I can create morals for this character, I can create a mindset for this character, because I'm imaginative, I want to live as this type of person for a few hours. And you can just go into the world, and you can live as that person. You can, live out your wildest fantasies in these games and go on an adventure and meet people that you enjoy being around. And it's exciting. And that's one of the main appeals of role-playing games. But to continue what I was saying, player choice is one of the biggest aspects of Western role-playing games. Do you want to punch that cat in the face? Do it. Why not? Something bad might happen. You might get arrested. You can't just like walk around and steal people's beets and punch their chickens. But, if you choose to do that, there should be a reaction. And that is what Western RPGs excel in, especially the Bethesda, which is the publisher and creator of the Elder Scrolls series and the Fallout series. Just some more info for you, just so you know what I'm talking about. If you punch a chicken in the face, a guard should come and say, please stop punching that chicken. And I really like that. And in some games, like Fable, which is one of my just favorite games of all time. We actually did an episode here on the podcast about Fable 2, which is, in my opinion, the best Fable game that they've made until hashtag Playground Games, hashtag Fable the new one, hashtag please fucking let me have a copy of that shit so I can play it before it comes out. Fable has morality, which is something really cool, and they kind of built the game around it, where if you do go into a town and you punch a chicken in the face and someone sees you do it, they're like, that guy is an asshole. You know, why did he just punch that chicken? Or why did he steal that guy's bread loaf? And it creates this aspect of morality. And this is, I think, a design philosophy. A lot of these are really Western design philosophies. When we talk about Japanese role-playing games here soon, they're very, very different. And I want that to be noted. Western role-playing games are very specific in the way that they operate. And Fable is one of the big ones, I think, because in my opinion, it was probably one of the first games to have morality. I know Black and White, which is a top-down God simulator, and holy shit, if I break that down, God Simulator is you create a town of people, that town of people worships you, and you try and do things to be like a benevolent or malevolent God, depending on however you're feeling. And that's cool, right? You can be good or evil. That's one of the things that I think Lionhead, which is the studio back in the day that created Black and White and Fable, were really good at. I mean, they gave you this power of like, I am going to be evil or I am going to be good. And it was really enjoyable. And in Fable, all your decisions, most of your decisions, let's not say all. I mean, going to the bathroom is not going to be good or evil. But the major choices that you make, like stealing from someone or rescuing a puppy, those things affect your morality. And it affects how people see you. So if you do a bunch of evil shit, not only will people view you differently, but your character will actually physically change. You will look more evil. Another notable game that does this is Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. It's by old BioWare, good BioWare. There's two games. There's KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. I can't remember the subtitle for KOTOR 2, but in that game, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, as you make evil decisions towards the dark side of the... Knights of the Old Republic, I know that, I guess I need to explain that. Knights of the Old Republic is based in the Star Wars universe. So if you're a fan of Star Wars and you've never played Knights of the Old Republic, I definitely would give it a shot. It's really fun. You get to really live in this Star Wars themed world. And if you're a fan, it's a great way to sort of be in that, especially since you get to make choices on being good or evil. But back to Fable. Or, both of them. Fuck it. As you do evil things, you look more evil. Your skin becomes gray in Knights of the Old Republic. In Fable, you grow horns and you look, and like flies start buzzing around your head. If you're good in Fable, you get like a halo, and your skin, I think, honestly, your skin is whiter. You kind of just like glow. And there's like butterflies around you, which is pretty lame, to be honest. I didn't mind the flies, and I think they're cooler than the butterflies. So I was typically evil in Fable. In Fable 3, I had a really, really evil character. So I would, and this is pretty fucked up. So I was playing like the Pirate King of Albion, and Albion is the world that Fable takes place in. And I would marry a woman, have sex with her, create a child, kill the mother, adopt the child because they obviously get taken away from you. And that is what I did. And killing your wife is pretty fucking evil. I would say it's probably one of the most evil things you can do. So that was fun. Yeah. That was an interesting time in my life. But, I mean, that's what I mean by player choice. That's what I mean by morality. That's what I mean by character customization. I mean, you really get to be this character. You get to get yourself immersed and you get to be someone for a while. I mean, oof, boy, does that sound bad. You get to be somebody. But I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean that you get to become a character of your imagination. And I will give a shout out to Dungeons and Dragons. If you can ever take a chance, if you can meet someone who plays D&D and maybe they've said, oh, you should try D&D, man, that's really cool. Or, hey, you should try a D&D, girl. It's really cool. You should give it a shot, especially if any of the things that I've talked about in the last few minutes have interested you at all. Dungeons & Dragons is the most free game ever made because it's all imagination. There is no boundaries. Video games have boundaries. They've only programmed so many things that you can do and so many effects that can happen. But in Dungeons & Dragons, your DM or Dungeon Master, sort of the host of the game that handles all the behind-the-scenes things like monsters and events and characters you talk to, you can do anything that you want. And if you have a cool DM, he'll let you get away with a lot of shit. Me and a group of friends back in high school, we were part of the D&D club. Wow, that is the nerdiest thing that's ever come out of my mouth. Fuck. We were part of the D&D club in high school. It was awesome. Fuck the haters. We had a campaign, which is the story that our characters are going through. It's called a campaign. It's where you start at level 1, you go up to max level, you sort of become someone through that. You go through events, major changes, things like that. It's called a campaign. We were running a campaign that was balls to the walls, the most hilarious shit that has ever happened in my life. Like I honestly, for the 2 hours that we were at D&D Club at the end of the day, it was awesome. It was let me just break down a story that we did. So me and my adventuring party. So a party is a group of people that are with you. In games, you can be a party with other people, so like real life people, like your friends, or you can be in a party with maybe non-playable characters or NPCs, and they just kind of follow you around and you guys kind of do stuff together. So in my party, we had this robot. I can't remember what the fucking name of this race is in Dungeons and Dragons. If you know the name of the robot race in Dungeons and Dragons, fucking drop it in the comments. Hashtag fuck yeah. His name was Kilgore. Fucking Kilgore. I had a hand in naming that character. I think I was a bard. And a bard is someone who sort of they like play music and they have like some magical ability. So I played a bard, and one of my close friends, actually Mike from the podcast, I mean, he's been on more episodes than he hasn't been. He was actually playing Kilgore. So we had a fucking great time doing that. So one of the stories that happened, I'm just going to tell you why Dungeons & Dragons is so fucking great. And why, the things that you put into this game, you really get out of it. So we took over this pirate ship. We were fighting these pirates on their ship. And we were kicking just tons of ass. I mean, we were doing fucking great. We ended up, the final hurdle we had to go through at the end of this pirate ship battle was the captain. And we were fighting and we were dealing some damage. You know, we were whittling him down using our spells and shit. And it was Kilgore's turn. And I was like, bro, fucking suplex him. Suplex him. Just throw his ass. Just grab him by the fucking gut and just slam him down. Oh my God. I fucking loved that goddamn campaign. So in Dungeons and Dragons, you use dice rolls to determine if you hit and how much damage you do. So the highest number you can get on a chance to hit is a 20. And if you roll you can get over 20, but the highest number on the dice that you use to determine if you hit or not is 20. It's 1 to 20. If you roll a 20, it's called a natural 20, a nat 20, and it counts as a critical hit. And a critical hit is sort of like a bonus damage attack, right? Something fucking cool happens in D&D when you get a nat 20, because it's fucking hard to get, man. There's 20 numbers on that fucking dice. And if you roll the highest one, you get something fucking sweet. And so our DM was like, all right, you suplex him. And you just wreck him. I mean, you just absolutely wreck him. But he doesn't die. He's actually, he's disabled from the neck down. So basically, Kilgore slammed him so hard on the dude's spine that he was disabled from the neck down. So then we get to the next town, and I asked the DM. I was like, hey, I want to separate from the group real quick. I want to head out with Kilgore. We want to take this captain's body. I cannot remember for the life of me what that captain's name was. Something cool, something good, something worth it. I said, I want to take this body, and I want to go with Kilgore, and I want to go to a necromancer. And a necromancer is someone who is in control of the dead. In control of the dead. A necro means dead. Mancer means usage of power or some shit. I don't know. But like, you know, dead body, power use, right? So like controls dead people. Somebody can correct me on that. I'm giving the gist. We go to this fucking necromancer. And I was like, all right, I want you to separate this captain's head from his body, keep him in a state of perpetual, like, aliveness. I mean, make him, like not die when we separate his fucking head from his body. And the necromancer's like, oh, yes, I can do that for 100 gold pieces. And we give him the gold. Fucking the necromancer does some magic and shit, cuts the dude's fucking head off, keeps him alive, and then we attach the head to Kilgore's body. So now Kilgore is fucking two-headed and has the head of this captain attached to his body. And we run around for the rest of the game like that. Like straight up. Fucking awesome. Another notable fucking story from this campaign, just to show you the dumb shit that you can do in a role-playing game. I mean, the reason to play these games, we needed to take over. Well, fuck. What did we need to do? I think we needed to get into a castle. So what did we do? We went and we talked to some soldiers. And these soldiers had a catapult. And I was like, all right, look, guys. If we get this catapult, we can use it to launch ourselves into the castle. So what do? We didn't steal it. We didn't kill the guys. We just conversed them so hard that we managed to get the catapult. Okay? They just gave it to us. Bam. We nat 20'd that conversation. We nat 20'd like 3 times in a row or some shit. To just like, bam, 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 catapult's ours. Then we used that catapult. I said, look, let's just launch Kilgore in there. No problem. He'll make it. He's a robot. Whatever. stick him in it. We fucking launch him. He has to do an agility check, which is agility is sort of your ability to do physical things in the world, acrobatic things, jumping, leaping, climbing. So he had to do an acrobatic check, which means he had to roll that D20, which is a 20-sided dice, to see how good he would be able to perform the maneuver that we were trying to do. You following? He managed to fucking nat 20 that, too. I mean, Mike was just the luckiest fucking person I've ever seen in D&D, ever. It was a trip. It was fucking wild. So not only did we launch him out of a catapult, he did like 6 front flips, a back flip, a jackknife, and he made it into the window of this castle. And then he just like walks over to the king, snaps the dude's neck, throws him out of the window, becomes the king of a nation. Oh, it took about 2 hours in game time. It took about like 2 hours fucking out of game time too, but it doesn't always match up like that. But it took about 2 hours of in-game time for us to convince some guards to give us a catapult, use the catapult, and become, or at least Mike becomes, the king of a nation. And this is what I'm talking about when I say that player choice in Western RPGs is extremely important. It is probably the most important thing in the design of a Western RPG. Now, why should you play one? Hopefully, some of the examples I gave you, being evil, affecting the way that your character looks, being able to create someone that looks like you, if that's your thing, leveling up, adventuring, going on quests, being someone from your imagination for a while, I would say that is the reason why you would play a role-playing game. Become something, go on an adventure, and create memories. And D&D is probably the best role-playing game ever made in the history of man. If you have the balls to try and jump in someone's game, or maybe, I mean, one of the things I did is I found a group of people that wanted to play D&D and never had, and we bought all the books and we just went for it. So I would say D&D is probably the best RPG ever made. Other notable role-playing games, I mentioned it a lot on this episode: Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Skyrim is probably the easiest one to get your hands on right now, and it's good, especially if you've never played a role-playing game before. Obviously I am super picky. I have a lot of opinions about things. Skyrim is not my favorite, but if you're getting into gaming, it's a great game to play. It's fun. When that game came out on 11/11/11, I pre-ordered that fucking game, and I put 60 hours into it over a 3-day weekend because it came out on a Thursday, and I was in school at the time, and I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So if you break down how long 3 days is, it's 72 hours. So that means that I played the majority of 72 hours in Skyrim, just doing quests, getting magic spells and shit. It was fucking awesome. So I would say definitely play it. If you want something that's more in-depth and maybe a little bit closer to D&D, Morrowind. Morrowind is fucking awesome. It is one of the best RPGs on console. It is super fun. It's really dated. I gotta say, it's super dated. It's kind of hard to get into. But if you're really trying to give a game a shot, I would give Morrowind a shot. But the be-all, end-all of role-playing games, man, it's Dungeons & Dragons. It is fucking D&D. I would say if you can, find a way to play it. So I hope that with this episode, I was able to maybe teach you something, give you an idea of what an RPG is like, give you an idea of what to expect, and maybe why you should play one, and hopefully some games that you might enjoy. Other games are the Fallout series, which I mentioned. It's more of a post-apocalyptic style of game, and post-apocalyptic means sort of after the end of mankind kind of event type thing. If you've seen The Walking Dead or any sort of show like that with zombies or whatever, that's what a post-apocalyptic genre is. So if you want to play, if that's more your aesthetic than this sort of Tolkien, which is I said Tolkien earlier, but I didn't explain it. Tolkien, not Token, Token, Tolkien, Tolkein, which is like Lord of the Rings, and Tolkien esque fantasy is really, really big in the West. You know, elves, dwarves, orcs, humans, magic, that sort of thing. That's really big. That's one of the major things that you'll see in Western role-playing games is Tolkien style fantasy, which is cool. I'm into it. You know, I played a lot of Morrowind. I think one of the things that Elder Scrolls has over other games of this style is there's like a lot of different races. There's a lot of different personalities and stuff for the characters. It's really cool. I would say Elder Scrolls is really fun. If you want to play a role-playing game on a console, Skyrim is the way to go. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this content. If you did, please like the video, share with some friends, subscribe. I come out with a video every Friday, maybe sometimes a little later, because Friday is my weekend too. But start your weekend outright with Level Die. I hope you enjoyed this. And remember, simply be despair. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Not next week, but the week after, we will be doing another video in this series to sort of cover a topic, a genre of games. I think next week we're probably going to do first-person shooters, so you can look forward to that. I hope you learned something. I know this is shorter than most episodes, but I want it to be digestible. I really appreciate you making it to the end. And I hope that you stick around for next week's episode and the week after that's episode. So thanks again. This was Level Die. Have a great fucking weekend.